Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Valerie from Connect Centric, strategic growth leader with them. How are you doing today, Valerie?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, great. Thank you so much for being on with us today in Pathmark Presents episode. And well, I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, wondering what Connect Centric is all about. So let's kick it off with that, Valerie. In your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Well, Connect Centric is a bespoke IT consultancy. We combine IQ with EQ to increase IT quotient. That's the know-how to future-proof organizations. Because IT strategy is only as good as your ability to execute. So our logo is a heart because we are human-centric. We take a holistic approach to process and strategy improvement. And that's kind of why our two orgs combine, they vibe, because you guys do automation, we do IT.
Definitely. All right. Awesome to hear that. And so that way our listeners can get a good understanding then of Connect Centric. Then what would you say then is the key problem that you guys like to solve for clients?
Oh, there are a few different problems that we work on. So, our top three problems of our prospects these days and our partners are technology integration and system compatibility. Lots of new technology coming out. Does the technology within your organization talk to each other? IT process efficiency and cost management. Subscription-based services are going bananas right now. And there's a whole war going on. And are you getting the most from your subscriptions? Do you have too many out there? How many licenses? So we want to do cost management as well. And the biggest thing that people are concerned about, especially with AI, is cybersecurity threats and data protection. So what we
Def-
do is we serve large enterprise associations, companies that have their own IT department. So we get in there strategically. Usually our partners have 500 million in revenue. We focus on finance, health, government, federal, energy, education, and industry association.
All right. Awesome. Great, great to hear that from you. So then, is there a vertical? Is there a segment? Is there an ideal ICP for Connect Centric that you guys like to go for?
We love industry associations, nonprofits. They're really great to work with, especially the international associations. We work, one of our major partners right now is an association. We love them. Just the diversity, the focus that they bring is close to our hearts. We like to align our mission with the mission of our partners. We want to bring consultancy to a new paradigm with the IQ and the EQ. We're proactive, empathetic, transparent. We accelerate, enhance, and optimize stalled out digital transformation projects for our partners. And that's what we're about.
Definitely. All right. Awesome. Awesome to hear that from you guys there at Connect Centric. And so that way our listeners to know how to get in contact with you, or how would somebody usually find out about Connect Centric? Is there a top client acquisition channel?
So we do a lot of word of mouth with our client success stories, which is another thing that we align in industry conferences and associations. So we're members of Chief Bo ITSMF, which is my tongue twister of the day, Information Technology Senior Management Forum. And we like being a resource on LinkedIn. So we're always posting strategies out there and connecting with people through LinkedIn.
Definitely, that's important. So that way our listeners who are tuned in could go ahead and visit you. You could always check them out at connectcentric.com. What role does a website play for client acquisition then, Valerie?
So for us, it is all about our prospects, our clients. And so our website, and we're about to do a new website, launch it. I don't know when it's going to launch, but we're in the process of tweaking it out, is to lead our prospects through that sales funnel from aware, discovery, evaluate, the intent to purchase, the purchase itself, and then loyalty. So even our partners that have been with us for a while still use our website as a resource. We want them to learn about our methods, our services, and how those methods and services can fit their needs, specifically them. A lot of times websites are designed to tell you all about us. It's not necessarily about us. Yeah, we're in it, but it's more client-centric with client-centric resources. One of the challenges or weaknesses of websites is that you have 50 milliseconds. Milliseconds. I pulled this stat from Behavior and Information Technology in 2011. I can imagine that our attention spans have shrunken. But they have that long before they make a decision on whether or not they're going to stay on your site. And then within the average length that someone is on your website is about 3 minutes. That's it. So what information do you put on your website to get people active, engaging, moving? So we focus on call to actions and lead magnets, which is another thing that our two services really vibe on.
All right, awesome to hear that from you guys there. And on that note, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some website lead generation?
So when you talk about website lead generations, you really want to pick your tools by the purpose that they serve. So design with a purpose. You want to put the value information up front. Consider the customer experience. We really depend on and heavily support and encourage analytic and data-driven decision making when it comes to website design, website tools. If your tools are not working for you, they're not serving you, they're not doing something for you, get rid of them. Again, it goes to that cost management. You want to keep your costs tight and put your budget where it's going to do the most bang. Automation, this is another service that you all provide, automation for a custom experience. So everybody will stay longer and engage more when you make it about them. You talk about their needs, how you can serve them. And within just a couple of clicks, you can, and understanding the analytics of where people are spending their time on your website, you can have a newsletter go out, an email go out, all types of things to customize that experience for your prospects, and then maintain your loyal partners, that the clients that you're already working with.
Right, awesome to hear the great tips and methods there from you guys as part there, Valerie. And we'll let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you as a leader. You being there in charge of the marketing there for Connect Centric. What are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
Well, as someone who works with a small business, I have multiple hats that I take on every single day. But my number one priority when my day starts is engagement. Are my partners, prospects, internal team, is everybody winning and set up for success? And I check in on them. I take a temperature. How's the day going? How's everybody doing? Is there any support I can give to anybody out there within my circle? And then I focus on strategy and process improvement. Again, we're balancing that IQ and that EQ, the intelligence or the skills for the IT development, and the empathy, that feeling. And we're balancing those out to build people's technology. So I'm overseeing developers. I'm working with their leadership to make sure that their goals and objectives are being seen and being accomplished. And we're making that progress on a daily basis. I personally specialize in documentation and training as a learning scientist with that whole PhD. I gotta use it. It was costly. I gotta make it happen.
Definitely. All right. Great news from you there, Valerie. Then let's jump into our next section here, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
I mean, that wasn't the rapid fire.
No.
I thought that was the rapid fire. All right. I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. First off, Valerie, what is the last book that you read?
Oh my God, you're jumping around. Yes, the last book I read was a fantasy book that has nothing to do with marketing. It's called Hollow City by Ransom Riggs, but I will give you a marketing focused one, Made to Stick: Why Some Ideas Thrive and Others Die by Chip and Dan Heath. This one was the one, my aha moment that I had in marketing. Boom, there you go.
Awesome.
Question
Great
one.
read there for our listeners. Next up is, what is one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
We're focused on process improvements and strategy is what we're hitting on hard these days. Cloud computing is extremely popular right now. We're moving two large organizations, a government and then an industry association, to cloud services. One of our partners is a cloud first organization. The other one is a government agency that is getting up to date and in the groove of what's happening in IT these days. So that's what we're focusing.
Definitely. All right. Awesome to hear that from you guys. Next up, Valerie, is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Well, I'm going to give you three things and they're all connected. Are you ready for this? So
All right.
IA is already boundless technology. It has no bounds. It can go anywhere. And the power of it, we're not actually even realizing right now. Our big influencers aren't even releasing the major capabilities just yet. So I would put up those guardrails, give a path for them to go. It's connected to my second thing, which is bridging human and technology into a collaborative effort to let some of that fear out of whether or not AI is going to replace us. And then my last thing is I want the tech industry to be the forefront of taking advantage of neurodiversity to drive innovation. We are all unique in our own neurodiverse ways, and I want to take advantage of that to forge the new era of innovation in IT consulting.
Definitely, that's important. I like what your head said. Well, next up is if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
It would be data analysis. So I saw a clip on LinkedIn recently about someone putting in the business forecasts that are released with your tax dividends and things like that, your investments, and then having an analysis spit out. It was so beautiful, but automation of data analysis is huge. I also, on an aside, on a really, this is my wish and my dream, is developer documentation. Because as we're customizing platforms, developers don't tend to like to spend a lot of time on their documentation. So it would be great if some kind of tool in there could go in, take note of what customizations they are doing, create a document and saying, hey, is this what you meant by doing this step? And then in a click, putting it into that platform as they develop it. Again, I give you
Definitely.
two. You ask me for one, I give you three. You ask me for one, I give you two.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I mean, it's the marketing that you got inside, so that's great to hear. And well, lastly, then, Valerie, I mean, you have a lot of experience already in the marketing world, but what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
If I were to restart my journey, like I've been in this journey for a while now, 20, almost 25 years, I would go back to young me on my young side and say, it's not about you. It's not about you or proving yourself. There's a good portion of my career I have to prove myself. Even the second I got a PhD, it was like, oh, now you got to prove you're a doctor. It's not about you. It's about your partners and your prospects. It's about elevating them and showcasing their success. It's using your skills and abilities in order to elevate other people and shine the light on them.
Definitely some great advice there. Love hearing that. And well, we're coming to the end of the show here, Valerie. But before we end, I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about Connect Centric?
I would want them to remember IQ and EQ to elevate your TQ or your emotional quotient. We want to infuse that human into technology because that's where our world is going. That's where AI is going. We're going to get into a whole new era of automation and technology that is going to feel very disconnected and lose that human element. You are always important. We're going to put the you back into everything in IT so that it's more accessible to increase everyone's knowledge and bring everyone along on the journey.
Definitely important there. Hey, well, Valerie, thank you so much for being on. To our listeners, go check them out at connectcentric.com. Comprehensive IT and technology expertise. Amplify your impact, propel your success. Thank you so much to our listeners for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Valerie.
Thank you for having me.